KMTV.com for details.
Every so often, Filmstreams works to provide the kind of direct access to filmmakers usually reserved for the audiences in those bigger cities.
David Boone Wilson is an example of that. He co-directed a movie about one of the most popular tourist destinations in the country, Branson, Missouri. It's called We Always Lie to Strangers.
David, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
The jacket, we must address.
I had to bring a little Branson to Omaha.
Was this yours, or did you borrow it from one of the performers?
You know, you spend 5 years in Branson, it kind of rubs off on you a little bit. So.
I've never been to Branson. I'm a little disappointed in myself for that reason, but I've heard great things about Branson. Yeah. It's so unique. There's not a city out there like it.
How do you describe it?
The weirdest town in America. I also like Homer Simpson's description. He said, Branson is like Las Vegas if it was run by Ned Flanders.
Right. Okay. So you made a movie. Why did you want to make this movie, and what's the movie about?
You know, I grew up in Missouri. I lived there most of my life. And
Columbia.
In Columbia, right in the middle. I went to Branson as a kid. And I mean, it's a fascinating place. And it's a town that sees itself as sort of a microcosm of America with a lot of rhinestones. So we wanted to go to Branson and really experience that and kind of get past the stereotypes and get past the surface and go deeper.
Is the Chamber of Commerce paying you from Branson?
Not at all.
Okay.
You know, they didn't know what to make of us. We spent a long time there.
5 years.
5 years making this film, following these families. And they were never sure if we were going to help them or hurt them or make fun of them.
So to revisit that point, you followed 4 families of performers.
That's right.
Yeah, so what did you learn about them and their lives?
You know, it's a job, right? You know, it's a job to get up there every day. You know, that drummer who, you know, midway through the set drops the drumstick and laughs and picks it up, he does that 300 nights a year, and you would never know. You know, they are pros down there.
Yeah.
But it was great to see people working that kind of life and then also just struggling the way that people struggle everywhere.
You know, being in broadcasting, I've worked on a documentary, and when you start these things, sometimes they evolve into something that maybe you didn't expect. So this was a 5-year process for you. Did the project change over time from how you envisioned it?
Oh yeah, we thought we were going to fly into Branson, spend 6 months there, whip a film together, get out of there, and you know, move on to the next thing.
4.5 years later.
4.5 years later, you know, but almost nothing we shot in that first year is in the movie. It took us a year to get into people's lives, to get to a kind of depth and level of personal kind of realness that we thought would make a great movie.
So for people who've been to Branson and they think they got it, what can you share that maybe they missed, either about the city or about the shows, the venues?
Sure. Oh, there's so much. You know, one of the funniest things someone in the movie says is, you know, Branson's a show town. And in show culture, you know, you have some straight people, you have some gay people. I don't think people think of Branson as necessarily a gay town, but there's a subculture there, and that's part of the movie.
Yeah, one of the things you did I think you did in Columbia, right? This True False Film Fest.
That's right.
Right. So is this movie your first attempt at a movie, or and how does that all relate back to the film fest?
Sure. I started a film festival in Columbia. It's called True False, and I got to immerse myself in great documentary films from all over the world and learn from the best. And I always knew I wanted to make a movie. And so eventually I met AJ, my co-director. He'd made a couple documentaries, and we decided to go down to Branson together and make this film.
And he will join you at Filmstreams for this screening. What kinds of questions are you prepared to take from the audience?
We'll take any questions. I take lots of questions about the jacket. People like asking about the jacket. People always want to know, where are they now? And certainly, since we stopped shooting, lots has happened in our characters' lives. So we'll be there to talk about that and tell everyone where they are now.
And the process, do you just want to see film students or people who are interested in making their own documentaries, or who would you like to see tonight?
I want to see people who've been to Branson. I want to see people who go to Branson every summer and see the shows and go back to their favorite shows. This is the kind of documentary I think appeals to everyone, and probably appeals to a lot of people who don't think they like documentaries or don't think they go to film streams. So, you know, I'm here to tell people you don't have to be cool to come to our movie.
When you think of Branson, I think of our more senior viewers out there who go to Branson. Is it? Do you think the younger generation would enjoy Branson, and do you see younger people going to Branson?
Branson needs it for sure. And I think they're trying hard. And I think we found, and there's things in the movies that certainly young people watch our movie and say, well, I never thought I wanted to go there, but.
Like like a bachelor party. Would a bachelor party be good for Branson?
A very quiet bachelor party. Without very much alcohol and no strippers.
Then Mike's not interested,
Right.
I can assure you.
Well, We Always Lie to Strangers, that's the name of it. How did you come up with that, and I guess why?
The name's in the movie, has a long history, that name. I mean, the Ozarks has been a place that has been attracting tourists and then sort of separating them from their money for over 100 years. And there's a really deep culture there, and we found that we got to immerse ourselves in that culture.
So you found the truth.
Yeah.
In a way,
We
over the
we think
course
so.
of 5
We
years.
like to think we found some truth down
Isn't
there.
that interesting? So let's show you some information about the screening tonight. You'll see We Always Lie to Strangers, and then afterward you can visit with David and AJ and Nathan. They'll happily take your questions. There's more information about this online at filmstreams.org, but it starts at 7 o'clock, of course, 13th and Mike Fahey, 933-0259 if you have any other questions. It's really nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
wonderful to
Good
be
luck
here.
on the project.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you all
excited.
so much for having
Can't
me.
wait to see it.
And now get to work on a jacket of your own.
I will.
Maybe you can have
Everyone needs